Hello students, welcome back. Let us take a look at the summary of chapter 10, circles. So we will make it a little interactive, wherein I have just written the points. Either you have to complete or fill in the blanks, or here at the start you have to write the definition of the circle. So what we will do is, while I say the question, you start writing the answer and I will write it at the same time, and then we will compare. So the first thing is you need to write the definition of the circle. So please take a pen and paper handy before I get started, and then when I start writing, you start writing as well. So I'm getting started with definition of circle. So I'm ready. Let's read it out together, and if you have got it wrong or something is missing, then please compare it and make the corresponding revisions. So definition of a circle is, it is a collection of points in a plane which is equidistant. So these points in the plane, they are going to be equidistant from the fixed point on the plane, and this fixed point is known as the center. Now complete the following. Equal chords of a circle or congruent circles You ready? So equal chords of a circle or congruent circles subtend equal angles at the center or corresponding centers. So if you have a circle like this, you have two chords that are equal to each other, and this is the center. Then if this chord makes this angle, then this chord makes this angle, then this angle is equal to this angle, right? So if I have AB and CD as my chords that are equal to each other, and O is the center of my circle, then angle AOB is equal to angle COD, because AB is equal to CD, they are the equal chords. So this is what the statement means. So the third one, if angles subtended by two chords of a circle are or congruent circles at the center or corresponding. So this is for corresponding. If I draw a line with arrows at the sides, it means corresponding are equal. Then what can you say about the chords? It is the converse of this statement. So this was the hint that I gave you. So please write the answer. So ready? If angles subtended by two chords of a circle or congruent circles at the center or corresponding centers are equal, then the chords are equal. So if you have a circle and you have two chords A, B, C and D, and these chords are subtending equal angles. So angle AOB is equal to angle COD. This is given. Therefore AB will be equal to CD. This is what the statement states. It is a converse of the initial statement that we just completed. Now moving on, perpendicular drawn from the center of the circle. Complete the statement. Ready? Perpendicular drawn from the center of the circle to the chord bisects the chord. So if I have a circle and I have a chord AB, I have my center O, and if I draw perpendicular AD on the line segment AB, then AD will be equal to DB. This is what the statement means. Okay, moving on. Now this is a fill in the blank. There is dash circle passing through three non-collinear points. Ready? There is one and only one circle passing through three non-collinear points. Remember, we learned that the maximum number of point of intersections between circles can be 2. But if you have three non-collinear points, then only one circle will pass through the three non-collinear points. Moving on, the fifth one. equal chords of a circle or congruent circles are dash from the center or corresponding centers. So ready? Equal chords of a circle or congruent circles are equidistant from the center or corresponding centers. So if you have a circle and you have two chords AB and CD that are equal to each other, then what can you say about the perpendiculars OM and ON? See, AB is equal to CD, therefore OM is equal to ON. This is because OM and ON are the perpendiculars drawn from the center of the circle to equal chords, and we have learned this theorem that perpendicular drawn from the center of the circle to the chord bisects the chord, and the other one that we learned is equal chords of a circle or congruent circles are equidistant from the center of the circle. So equidistant means they are at equal distance. And what is the formula for the definition for distance? It is the perpendicular drawn from any point, perpendicular line drawn from any point to that particular line. Moving on, chords equidistant from the center or corresponding center of a circle or congruent circles, it is the converse of this one. So chords equidistant from the center of the circle, please complete. This was very simple considering that we have already gone through this one. Chords equidistant from the center of the circle or corresponding centers of a circle or congruent circles are congruent. Okay, if two arcs of a circle are congruent, then their dash you have to complete. Ready? If two arcs of a circle are congruent, then their corresponding chords are equal. So if I have a circle with arcs AB and PQ such that AB is equal to PQ, this arc AB is equal to PQ, then this chord PQ will be equal to chord AB. Alright, so let me just draw this arc a little bigger. So I have PQ. So if arc AB is equal to arc PQ, then chord AB is equal to chord PQ, and the converse is true. Okay, and it is not false. So if you have two chords that are equal to each other, then their corresponding arcs are going to be equal. This is the converse, which is true. Moving on, the eighth one, congruent arcs of a circle ready? So now we just learned that if you have two congruent arcs, then the corresponding chords are equal. And what did we learn at the start of the chapter? That congruent chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center. Similarly, congruent arcs of a circle will also subtend equal angles at the center. The ninth one, angle subtended by an arc at the center. Please complete. So ready? Ninth one, angle subtended by an arc of the circle by an arc at the center is twice the angle subtended at the circumference. But here we learnt special cases. So the first case was, if I have my circle with center O and this is my arc PQ. So PQ subtends an angle POQ at the center and it subtends an angle PRQ at the circumference. In this case, angle POQ will be twice of angle PRQ, where PQ is your minor arc. If you have a semicircle, PQ are the endpoints of your semicircle, and R is your point here, and O is the center. In this case, you have angle subtended by a semicircle is a right angle. So angle PRQ is going to be 90 degrees. And in the third case, you have a circle. See, here we had minor, here we had semicircle. Now I have a major arc PQ. So this is your major arc PQ. It is subtending angle POQ at the center and PRQ at the circumference. Right? So now you have this angle, reflex of angle POQ is equal to twice of angle PRQ. So here you will have reflex of this angle, which is this angle. So this angle POQ is equal to twice angle PRQ. So this is a very important one. Please go to the theorem and the sums related to it. Okay. Angles in the same segment of a circle, very simple. Please write the solution. So angles in the same segment of a circle are congruent or equal. So if I have a circle like this and I have my segment PQ and it is subtending an angle PRQ and PMQ, then angle PRQ is equal to angle PMQ. Even if you have, so here they are lying in the same segment. See, both PRQ and PMQ, they are lying in the upside area of chord PQ, right? So if I have again, let's say AB, so see, with arc AB I have the chord AB. Now angle AMB and ANB, they are lying on the same side of the segment. That is the upside area of your chord. Therefore angle AMB is equal to or congruent to angle ANB, right? Okay. Angles in a semicircle, we just learned. So ready? Angles in a semicircle are right angles. Okay, if a line segment joining two points subtends angle at two other points lying on the same side of the line containing the segment. So if I have my circle with chord PM such that chord PM is connecting 2 points PM, and PM is subtending two angles on the same side of the line segment. So let's say PM is subtending angle POM and PRM. So what can you say that these points POM and PRM, first of all, what can you say that these two angles are going to be equal to each other? But what is the condition? That all these 4 points should lie on the circumference of the circle. So how will you complete this? If a line segment joining 2 points subtends equal angles, so this angle is equal to this angle, lying on the same side of the line containing the segment, then all the 4 points lie on the circle or the circumference of the circle. So I am just continuing here. Then and finally you have cyclic quadrilateral. This was the most simplest concept that we learned in the chapter 10 circles. That cyclic quadrilateral is a quadrilateral wherein all the vertices of the circle lie on the circumference of the circle, wherein all the vertices of your quadrilateral lie on the circumference of the circle, and also the sum of the opposite pair of angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180 degrees. So what is a cyclic quadrilateral? It's going to be something similar to this, where points A, B, C, D, they are all lying on the circumference of the circle, angle A plus angle C is 180 degrees, and similarly angle B plus angle C is going to give you 180 degrees. So let's write this down. A quadrilateral with all vertices on circumference of circle and sum of opposite angles of quadrilateral is equal to 180 degrees. So this was about the summary of your chapter 10 circles. Please take a look. I hope you found this session very interactive. We will take a look at the next chapter in the forthcoming videos. Thank you.
Hope this video increased your knowledge. For more such videos and a completely free educational content, log on to www.epathshala.org or visit our ePathshala YouTube channel. We have each and every question solved for maths, physics, chemistry and biology. So subscribe our channel, share with your friends, like our Facebook page and follow our Twitter handle for regular updates and important educational tips, and also win ePathshala goodies. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe this channel and enjoy the freedom of education.